Plus, Kevin Durant is not coming home, but we return to KD's roots to get an idea of where his success came from. This Game On Overtime will roll on, and we break down the first half of the First Place Nationals. That comes your way next.
You try to enjoy it the best you can. Try to take it all in. Go so quick, go so fast. So try to take it one step at a time each day and enjoy it with the guys, enjoy it with the fans and the family, and that's the best part about it.
Bryce Harper headed to his fourth All-Star game, third as a starter. Of course, the game is Tuesday night in San Diego. Welcome back to Game On Overtime. Nationals rolled into the All-Star break, three-game winning streak, lead the Mets by 6 games. And joining me now to discuss the Nationals, ESPN 980's DMV Game Time host Tim Murray, 7 to 10 p.m. weeknights on ESPN 980. Tim, you're a baseball guy. That's why I brought you on. First half impressions, First Place Nationals. Better than we expected.
Better than we expected, tying a franchise record with the way that they started. 54 wins in the first half, tremendous. They had some bumps in the road like you're going to have. It's baseball. But Daniel Murphy, I mean, Frank, what can you say about this guy? And talk about going after your old team. 7 home runs against the Mets. He had 5 home runs the whole first half of the year last year. So Daniel Murphy has exceeded expectations more than anyone would have expected.
We just heard from Bryce Harper. He's had an up and down first half. Certainly frustrated by all of the walks that he saw early going. But when you got a guy like Daniel Murphy now making teams pay, you can't walk Bryce Harper anymore.
Well, you got Daniel Murphy, and you also have Wilson Ramos. So there has just always been protection. Remember the Cubs series where no one was protecting him, and now you've got Daniel Murphy actually hitting in front of Bryce Harper, and then Wilson Ramos right behind him. So Bryce Harper, you look at the stats, 256, he's got 19 home runs, leads the team, but that's not MVP caliber. I do expect him to fully kind of bring it back in the second half. And, Frank, you could be up 6 games, and Bryce Harper isn't exceeding expectations. That's pretty impressive.
Exceeding expectations. The starting pitching has been fantastic. But are there some portions of the team that have to get better if they're going to make a push come playoff time?
Well, Jonathan Papelbon, since he's returned from the DL, has been very good. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 8 strikeouts, got the save today. But the bullpen has to get better. I mean, that is the biggest issue right now. The bench has been great. 9 home runs coming off the bench. That's better than what they did all last year. But the bullpen is an issue. Even Jonathan Papelbon pitching as well as he is, there are still things that need to get better. And this bullpen is going to have to be addressed in the next 3 weeks.
For fans out there, I think this is a very easy team to get behind. And I will say it does start at the top with the skipper, Dusty Baker. Looks like the guys love this manager. The other night, Max Scherzer told Dusty, keep me in the game. He did, and this is the type of manager players love to play for.
Max Scherzer seems like a guy in another life would be a salesman, right? I mean, we saw it last year. Matt Williams comes out and he, begs to stay in the game. He does. He does it last night, and it works. So, but yeah, to your point, Dusty Baker, he's a player's manager. Matt Williams was the drill sergeant, right? He was a different type of guy, Frank. This is what they need. Right now, everything he's doing is turning into gold. It's Dusty Magic right now.
Oh, I like that, Dusty Magic. And, of course, there's Max Scherzer. Dude, as you just mentioned, stalks the mound. He's a gamer. His thoughts so far on the first half of the season with our Grace Olson.
You're just in the grind of it. You're about we're coming in on the halfway point, and you've been at this for now 5 months. You just got to know that you have to bring your best effort every single day, that the travel schedule gets at you. It gets at everybody, but you just have to put your blinders on, just go and attack every single day with your best effort.
With so many games, slumps happen, and there was one very recently. Who kind of rallies the troops? Is there one particular player, or is it really just a group type of thing?
It's a group thing. Sometimes when you're slumped, you need the whole team, and then the whole team needs to have that type of energy to sometimes get out of slumps like that.
With Strasburg, obviously there's only one you on the mound at different times, but how would you say that you complement each other from an organizational standpoint?
When you look at our rotation, I think they really try to do a good job of balancing the guys in between the rotation. Whether you have Joe who can sink the ball, you have Gio the lefty, and Tanner who can really sink the ball, and then Strauss who can really blow you away with a fastball. I think that really helps complement. You get a different look every single night, and I've been a part of some great rotations. And when you have a different look every night, I feel like it keeps the hitters that are in slumps stay in slumps.
In terms of the home runs, where do you stand in terms of how you're working on eliminating and cutting those down?
You just try to focus on executing pitches and staying out of the middle of the zone. Obviously it's something that you want to address, but I've been trying to do everything I can to minimize that. But I just got to continue to believe in my philosophies and go out there and attack the zone and try to execute pitches every single time against every single hitter. Sometimes it's a little harder, easier said than done, but that's the mentality you have to try to have success.
Your experience so far with Dusty and him heading up this team, how's that been?
Oh, he's been great. He's brought a nice energy to the team, even at the tender age of 67 now. That he keeps us loose and doesn't panic, and that we feed off of that. Even when we're in a losing streak, we're not feeling the stress of the season. So he does a great job of keeping everybody's head in perspective and knowing how to push the right buttons at the right time.
Oh, the tender age of 67. Now, Scherzer, as you just heard, talking about giving up the long ball, and Tim Murray, that has been his issue. I mean, he's striking people out, but he's just giving up too many homers.
Well, I guess the good thing is, over his last 8 starts, he's only given up 6. So that's a positive, right? But that has been the issue all year long, right, Frank? I mean, that is something he has to get over, but you look at the last couple starts since June 1st, he has been terrific. And if he can get back to what he was last year and the way that Strasburg is pitching this year, you really do have 2 aces. That's a 1-2 punch you don't want to mess with come postseason.
Tim Murray, ESPN 980, DMV Game Time, 7 to 10. Weeknights. Thanks so much for joining us, man. Appreciate
always,
your
Frank.
insights. Analytics. I love all the numbers. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate your time. Speaking of numbers, will Kirk Cousins get that long-term deal or not? Clock is ticking, and midnight may strike before anything gets done by July 15th for the Redskins quarterback. Of course, Cousins has that 1-year franchise tag right now, making about $20 million. Redskins have until the end of the week to offer a long-term deal, but that apparently does not look like it will happen for Cousins, of course, who had a very solid season in his first full year as a starting quarterback. Well, we know that for now the running back job is Matt Jones, and the third down back is Chris Thompson, a role he is just fine with moving forward.
My role in the NFL will be a third down back, and it'll probably be that way my whole career, and I'm fine with that. The thing about the NFL, you just have to find out what works for you, find out, what you can do and do it well. I've grasped this third down role, and, being able to pass protect, catch passes. You know, if I get to run the ball here and there, you know, just make big plays.
We knew he wasn't coming here, but Golden State? Kevin Durant leaves a team in Oklahoma City that almost beat the Warriors in the playoffs, and now he makes up one of the most potent offenses in NBA history, joining Golden State on that 2-year, $54 million deal. Durant officially joined the team on Thursday, and he said he was drawn by that motto, strength in numbers, for Golden State.
It's been hectic, you know. It's a lot of attention that comes with being in this position, and I knew that. And, you know, when I met these guys, I felt as comfortable as I ever felt. And it was organic, it was authentic, it was real. And there's feelings I couldn't ignore. So, you know, I made a decision to come in and play for these guys, and I feel great, and I feel excited about this opportunity.
Now, KD grew up in the DMV, but he chose not to come home. Our Scott Broom caught up with Durant's high school coach.
Kevin Durant in 2006, a high school senior from Suitland, playing for the Montrose Christian School in Rockville.
You know, one of the greatest players that's ever played in Kevin Durant.
His coach was Stu Vetter.
He was so talented in high school that he could have played for us on Friday night and then played for the Wizard on Sunday afternoon. That was the year that they put the rule in that says he couldn't go from high school directly to the NBA, because he would have certainly been in that category.
Instead, Durant went to the University of Texas and turned pro with the Seattle Supersonics, which moved to Oklahoma City, where Durant became an NBA MVP. Vetter says Durant's heart has always been here in D.C., where he grew up in modest circumstances in Suitland and where he still has family and lots of friends. But Vetter says he knows why Durant chose Golden State.
One of his slogans is, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And he knew right from the beginning he was talented, but he wasn't going to get outworked. I mean, he was the hardest working guy we had. He and Vasquez every morning at 6 o'clock would be at Montrose working out before school would start. And I think that's what he's looking for now, that type of program. I could easily envision him and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson meeting early in the morning and working out. That's the environment Kevin Durant wants, and that's the environment great players want. I think that had a lot in his decision to go to Golden State.
Well, good luck to KD. Meanwhile, Wizards Summer League in Vegas obviously want to keep our eyes on Kelly Oubre Jr.'s development. Scored 20 yesterday. Today he scored 21 to lead the Wiz Kids. Jarrell Eddy also playing this summer. Got some PT last year with the Wiz, scored 19 points, but the Wizards lose 88-80, now 1-1 in Summer League play. Coming up, we're going to spotlight a local boxer headed to Rio for the Olympic Games. That comes your way next. Welcome back. We're less than 1 month away from the start of the 2016 Summer Games. But for the athletes, the journey